Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Siku Citroën Traction Avant. It's a German diecast company's version of a classic French car, and one that I'm very fond of. This was part of a large eBay lot that I got one day. You can see the paint is what lets it down the most. There's a chip off of the rear bumper, but I love these suicide doors and a couple of other features that made this a unique car in its day. I'll tell you a little bit about those as you settle in with a fresh cup of coffee, enjoy a little bit of soft jazz, and my efforts to do a custom job on this classic. All projects begin with a breakdown, and because it's a Siku, which is a very high quality diecast manufacturer, there are a few extra bits like removable headlights, and the grille and the dashboard is separate from the rest of the interior. I bought this paint stripper a little while ago and it is fierce. They're much more aggressive than what I've been using for the last 2 years. And look at this, the Siku paint slides off like zombie skin. But it still needs a little bit of bare metal work, so I use a combination of different wire brushes with my Dremel tool and Scotch-Brite attachments, steel wool files when necessary to get a great smooth finish. Today's community shout-out goes to Brian's Diecast Thailand Stothers. You're going to see some really good custom work here and a variety of cars on Brian's channel. Please follow the link that I leave in the description so you can meet up with him if it's a new channel name for you, and let him know that you came by from Maple Leaf Customs. Thank you. We're already at the primer stage, where only the die-cast pieces get treated this way, no plastic at this point. And I use a regular dollar store primer that I find works very well, and today it's Vallejo water-based paint, straight black, or noir, because it's a French car. The doors get sprayed on both sides, as does the detachable front fender wells, so everything's going to match up perfectly when it's all put back together. The Traction Avant was a range of mostly four-door saloons and executive cars with 4- or 6-cylinder engines produced by the French manufacturer Citroën from 1934 to 1957. Approximately 760,000 units were produced. Whilst front-wheel drive and independent suspension had been well established by that time, the Traction Avant pioneered mass production of a monocoque body, also known as unibody in the US. Additionally, the car was also an early adopter of rack and pinion steering. You'll see me masking up the body, which is all black now, so that I can match it up with the picture that I printed and put on my work mat with red highlights. That's the main difference from the original casting that I started with. I just think it looks sharp. Although the car's name emphasized its front-wheel drive power delivery, Traction Avant literally means front-wheel drive in French, the car stood out at least as much by its lower profile and stance, made possible by the absence of a separate chassis under the car's unibody, sharply distinguishing it visually from its contemporaries. Every 4 years, Traction Avant enthusiasts ship or drive their vehicles to an exotic location for the ICCCR, the International Citroën Car Club's rally. In 2002, for example, a group of more than 30 Traction Avants drove from Los Angeles to New York City without a single mechanical incident. Now that's impressive. That two-tone paint is looking very sharp now. And it was easy to repair the chip off just the corner of the back bumper by building up a little bit of super glue, letting that cure, and then shaping and filing it down. but I cover all of that work up with a Molotov chrome pen, as well as touching up the front grille, fog lights, and license plate holder as well. One custom piece that I decided to include on this one was using a small ferrule from the hardware store, which looked pretty close to scale size exhaust pipes on these cars. A single pipe in this case. And I'm going to use, also from the dollar store, some small costume jewelry rhinestones, which give a very nice look like real headlights. And that's the last of my custom pieces on this French classic. And it's time to put it back together. The breakdown was actually about a 20-minute process to figure out the order that these came off on, and I should have rewatched that video that I shot because I made a couple of errors in the procedural chronological steps here, but it didn't make any big difference. And now you know why I store all of these tiny parts in a plastic bin during the project. I always hold my breath when I put these Siku doors back in, hoping that there will not be any paint chips. And in this instance, tickety-boo, as we say in Canada, no problems. So they're going to open and close perfectly, just like they should. This is where I realized I should not have put the front fender flares on before. The small dashboard piece clips on to two posts like that, as does the newly painted red leather interior on the same post. Now I can put the front piece back on. That was my main slip up in the reassembly stage. The Siku wheels I reused. I just re-chromed the hubs to make them look a little fresher. And minimal detailing on the undercarriage, as you can see. Everything clicks back into place, and there were no issues at all with this fine-looking little car. It's been waiting its turn for a custom job, and I enjoyed this one thoroughly, so I'm glad it's came around in the rotation at this point and turned out so nicely. I hope you will agree. Let's have a closer look. There's the front grille with some highlights. The two-tone paint looks good. That's still a great roller. I added some custom license plates that look period correct. You can see the repaired bumper and the exhaust on the back, and there are the suicide doors. Inside door cards painted to match the leather interior. Looking great from front to back. It really is a classic looking car. This one just needed a facelift to get it back into circulation, looking fresh and new. And now it's fit to make one of those car club tours. Look at the rhinestone headlights in the front, the side profile. The low stance is really what sets it apart. It's a looker, isn't it? I'm so happy with the way this one turned out, and I hope you enjoyed watching this too. I will put this into a custom blister pack. It's not kid-friendly because of those headlights and a couple pieces that could be broken off easily. So this will go to an adult collector friend of mine who's also a car enthusiast. But I hope you enjoyed watching my work on the Citroën, and I invite you to come back to my channel anytime. Please leave a respectful comment below and leave your thoughts. I wish you a nice day. Drive carefully. It's coffee time.